So I remember when Keith started talking about Africa and the need over there, and initially and actually for a long time I really didn't connect with that message. My heart was hard towards it, and I think through my own selfishness, my first reaction was, why are we so worried about the people over in Kenya when there's so much need here? And it's funny, Keith talked about that afterwards, and he talked about how usually the people that ask that question aren't really doing anything over here either, and that was true for me. So I didn't think about it too much. My wife did. She connected with that message right away, and I remember she came home and pretty quickly she wanted to get into sponsorship, and it wasn't where my heart was, but for her we agreed, and we ended up sponsoring several children. Kind of one child in Africa for each of the children that we had here. But I didn't have anything emotionally invested in that. The limit of my involvement was basically writing the check every month. And it wasn't really until last year when the church started talking about the water project and the 13.1 half marathon that I started listening a little bit. But it's funny, I listened for the same selfish reasons that I didn't get involved in the first place. And that was, that I could use this run to change me, right? That I was going to use this run to get me motivated to get into shape and lose weight and, be strict on a diet. And that was really the limit of my involvement. God changed me. He did change my body, but, more so than anything else, He changed my heart. My orientation kind of moved as I got further and further along getting ready for that run. Every time I got a donation, I thought more about what that money was going for. The more I became educated about the need, right, the more concerned I got. And then I got the call, and Lorraine called, and I knew exactly what she was calling for. And I broke down. I started crying. Angie watched, me on the phone. I hung up, and she knew instantly what that call was about. And she said, I knew in my heart you'd be going to Africa. And she knew it because she had seen the change in me. She had seen the change that God had done in me during that process of the run. I couldn't believe that I was going to celebrate the completion of the water project, right? Something that had become very, very important to me over the time of the training, right? It became very important, and then all of a sudden now I was going to be there to actually be a part of it. But then also to meet our sponsor children, right? They had over that time they had become important to me. More so than they ever were, and now I was going to have an opportunity to meet them and to play with them and to love on them, and it was just an incredibly emotional experience. So we went to this house, and the house was a family. The mother was HIV positive. She had full-blown AIDS. The father was HIV positive. And World Vision had assigned a caseworker to this family, a 76-year-old woman with just the most incredible strength and the incredible spirit. They called her adult. And she was just a wonderful woman who said something that burned onto my heart. And what she said was, I ask you not to forget what you've seen here.